Hello everybody. Welcome in to the Purple Penguin Craft Room. I'm Vicky. Today's craft is going to be a turkey. We're going to do, I'm going to call this a biscuit turkey. And that sounds funny, but it's because of what we're using. So I'll go ahead and go over some of the things I might be using, and then we'll get started. First of all, I call it a biscuit turkey because of biscuits. These are not your biscuits from the kitchen. These are not edible biscuits. These are called wood biscuits. And basically just a quick lesson on biscuits. They're for carpenters usually use these, especially in furniture making. When you're putting two joints together or two pieces of wood together and you don't want a piece of wood over top to connect them, you want to kind of connect them side by side. There's a machine, it's called a biscuit joiner, and it creates a little groove in your wood, and you put the little biscuit in, and then you put another groove on the other wood, and you put them together, and this little biscuit is sitting in between to help hold them together for stability. Just a quick little lesson on that. But they're also good for crafting. So we're going to be using some of these. These are size 20. They come in multiple, like all different sizes. The most common sizes is 10, 20, and I believe 5. 5, 10, and 20, I believe, are the sizes that are most common. But they come in all different sizes. I'm sorry, 0. It's 0, 0, 10, and 20. Are the most common sizes that to use. But like I said, there is a whole bunch of sizes you can get. Typically get them at the hardware store, but you can get them online, or you might even be able to find them at Walmart. Might have them, not quite sure. Never looked for them at Walmart, but you never know. Walmart's got a lot of things, but definitely Amazon. Amazon has everything. We're going to use different colored felts. We're going to use some cork board. Foam board, not cork board, foam board. I've got different sizes. This is the 1/2 inch, and this is the 1/4 inch size foam board, and some leaves or greenery, that kind of thing. Like I said, this is some of the stuff that I might be using. I may add, I may delete. You never know. Stay tuned and figure it out along with me. It's all about the crafting and having a good time and using what you got. So let's get started. So first thing we're going to do, we have all these little biscuits. These, like I said, were size 20, so a little bit the larger biscuits. If you ever notice on the biscuits, they have kind of a smoother side, and then they have a rough side. And that's, kind of typical. Some of them have rough on both sides. I kind of like the texture of them. We're going to paint first. And I've got about 15 biscuits here. Is what I've got. I'm thinking 6 in the front, and the other in the back. So these will be my back ones, and these will be my front ones. And I want a mix of red, orange. I think we might do brown and yellow. Just kind of like mix it up a little bit here. And so for the red, we're going to be using engine red. We're going to be using yellow is school bus yellow. This is all acrylic paints. Brown, this is bark brown, it's a darker brown. Might be using white. If I use white, it's this off-white, light buttermilk. I'm not sure if I want to use off-white or not. And my orange is top notch, and it is burnt orange and top notch. So those are the colors I'll be using, and we're just going to kind of alternate and scatter, and so we're going to paint them. And then we are going to kind of sand them down and rough them up. So they're not just going to be just kind of solid colors, I guess I should say. So let's start with our orange. we'll see how many we want to do in orange. You do want to get this, make sure you get the sides. Not too worried about the back, but you do want to make sure you cover the entire thing. You could also stain these too. These would look really cute, a nice looking stain. So if we do yellow, red, brown. So now all of our biscuits are painted. They were brown, like wood color. And now we've got, so you've got 4 red ones, 5 orange, 3 and 3 on the yellow and the dark brown. Now we're just going to take our sandpaper. This is a Gator sander. It's 120 grit. And we're just going to rough them up. Shouldn't be that hard to do because they're kind of already not sanded smooth. So roughing them up won't be that difficult. And it just kind of, you know, adds to them a little bit. Okay, we're still prepping our biscuits, but we have them all sanded, so you can tell, you can tell they're all sanded and ready to go. The yellow ones, you can't tell as much that they're sanded. I kind of wanted to darken them up a little bit. So we're going to take damp baby cloth here, antique wax, and then we're just going to kind of grunge them up a little bit. Give them a little bit of definition there. There we go. Doesn't take much. Kind of rub it on there. If you want to go ahead and kind of do, if I want to do kind of some of the orange ones too. Let's see what that looks like. I might do, just do it on a couple of them. So you can see this one, the darker one, this is with a little bit of the antique wax, and this is without. So it makes a little bit of a difference. All right, moving right along, let's start putting our tail together. So we're going to bring in, this is just your average 1/8 of an inch. I believe that, yeah, it's 1/8 of an inch. Oh, this might not be. No, I'm sorry, I was wrong. This is a 1/4 of an inch. 1/4 of an inch foam board. 1/4 of an inch foam board. Usually I get this foam board from either Michael's or Hobby Lobby. That's when I get this cork board. So remember, we're going to do 9. We're going to do, was it, did I say, yeah, 9. 9 feathers on the top here. One more. 9. We're going to have 9 feathers, like so. And so ultimately, they don't have to all be on the board here. What we're going to do is we're going to create a body of a turkey. It's going to go here. These guys are going to go and layer probably on top of. So that, and then like I said, we're going to put a little body right here. So let's do, first things first, let's go ahead and we're going to glue down our little turkey tails right here. And we're going to cut this out. It's not going to stay on the back like this. We are going to cut it out. I just wanted to lay it out first so you could see what I had planned. This way it didn't matter if we painted the backs on them so much, because you're not going to see the back. Okay, so we've got those guys down. We're going to go ahead, we're going to take our X-Acto knife here, and I want to cut this out. It definitely helps with foam board. Helps if you have a sharp blade. This is actually a new blade I just put on here. So there, I just cut the bottom portion here. Now we're going to go ahead and cut some of this off. Make things a little easier for me here. So now we're going to go ahead, we're going to cut in between here. There we go. Like that. And I may come back and actually either try and trim this back a little bit more. I might actually just paint it. I think we're just going to paint it. It might be a little bit easier. So we've got all of the biscuits for the back of the tail are all glued on to this foam board, and I went ahead and I cut out so that you can't see the foam board behind it. Well, you kind of can from an angle. So we might go back and actually paint this like a dark brown so that it kind of blends in a little bit better. But for right now, we'll just leave it. Now I want to put the other ones on. However, like, I kind of want this space. There is a space here. There's a gap because you have, where the biscuits were. So what we're going to do, I think, since roughly this foam board is roughly about the same thickness, maybe a little thicker than the biscuits, but I want to stick a piece right in here. So I'm just going to go ahead and try and find a small enough piece, I can kind of just manipulate and cut in there. I'm just going to eyeball this, get this in here. Got it. A little bit snug still right in there. Take it out. Okay, that piece will be perfect. Although I do want to kind of even this out a little bit here. All right, so now we'll glue that piece in. Should I still have it right? That piece fits right in there, so that way we got a little so that it's no air gap. Right, so we've got a flat piece there. Now we want to fill in these guys. I want to make it so this is the extra 6. So there's 15 altogether. We've got 9 along the back, and then we've got the 6 that are going to kind of the next layer here. I think that looks perfect. We're going to glue these guys on. If you don't want to paint these, you definitely don't have to paint these. You could leave them a natural color, the natural wood color if you want. You could actually Mod Podge on them. You could do like different scrapbook paper, or you could do different fabrics. Would be fun too if you did different fabrics. There we go. This turkey is coming along great. So now we need a body. We need to have a little bit of a body here. So we're going to kind of play with this. So how big do I want his body to be? Again, I want him to be within this size. This is all just strategic planning at this point. Just gotta come up with a plan. We want our little turkey to be about this big. We want him to kind of have a big fat round body. I'm thinking I want his head to be, so I want this to be a little bit bigger. This to be a little bit bigger than what I was thinking. So we're going to go with this. Different piece. Try again. I've got extra cork foam board all over the place. Let's start with his head. So let's go. I'm kind of liking this, so I'm going to do a rough cut out of this. I am going to cut it, I'm cutting it a little bit larger than what I was thinking I wanted to do, just because in case I want to either keep it this large or change something on it. I am starting to, let's see, I want to make it a little bit smaller. Just kind of bringing you guys along with my thought process here. And he's not going to be perfect. He's definitely not going to be perfect by any means. And I don't expect him to be. He is handmade, and that's what I like about him. Alright, so it kind of looks like a little snowman, right? I think he's a little snowman sitting there, but he looks adorable, right? Perfect. So, we're going to go ahead. I want to go ahead and paint him. I do want to paint him because I think he'll look better if I paint him now versus gluing him on and then trying to paint him. So we're going to bring in that dark brown color that I used on his tail pieces. This is bark brown, so it's a darker brown because I like a good old dark brown turkey. And this is, like I said, this foam board, it paints really nicely. You don't have to worry about not being able to paint it. You can definitely paint it without a problem. Sometimes, this is acrylic paint, sometimes it does need 2 coats. And by looking at this, I probably am going to do 2 coats on it, just to get it a little bit darker. So we got that painted and it's dry. Actually, I only did 1 coat on it because I actually kind of, so you can kind of see some of the white through it. I kind of like that. It's kind of a marbling kind of look. I kind of like that a little bit. I'm going to see what happens when I sand a little bit. We're just going to kind of rough him up a little. So that he's kind of roughed up just like the edges there. I kind of like that. I kind of like how that's kind of roughed him up a little bit there. Now we're going to put him back on. Put him back in place here. Now, I kind of, make sure I get him in place. That's where he's going to go. So that's where our little turkey friend is at. Perfect. How cute is that? That is absolutely adorable. Just like that. It's a little brown snowman, right? Little brown snowman with leaves behind him. He'll look more like a turkey, trust me. He will look more like a turkey the more we start putting things together for him. First we'll give him some eyes and a mouth. I want to do, I think I'm going to bring in some felt here, and we're going to give him a triangle beak, I should say. A triangle beak, like that. Love that. We're just adding different textures. So we've got the wood biscuits, we've got the foam board, and now we've got felt too now. And you can paint this on too if you don't want to. If you don't want to use the felt, you can paint that. I kind of like the look of the felt being able to stand out there. And then we're going to give him some eyes. So we're going to need the black. Just black acrylic paint, just regular black, nothing special. See if I can do this, because I am not good when it comes to eyes. Oh, I love that. I love how cute that looks. So cute. That actually turned out better than I thought. Show you guys. There he is. Now, the turkeys have that little red, like, I don't know, extra skin, I guess, on his, kind of coming off of his snout there. I don't know what that is called. Don't pretend to know what that is called. But, that's what we're going to give him. So, I think, I don't want it too big. Like that. It's perfect. Just a little something extra here. There we go. He's definitely looking more and more like a little turkey. Let's go ahead and work on his base. The last thing I'm going to do with give him wings, and he's totally fine right now. just give him, a base to sit on. He needs a base to sit on, and then we're going to put some bunch of leaves and stuff around him. So let's see. This is the 1/2 inch foam board. I wanted to see how much I should give him. I'm going to do more on the back than the front because I do want to put leaves back behind him. So I think I'm going to just take another piece of foam board. That's my little straight edge here. And you can do this in wood too, if you want to do this in wood. You do not have to do this in foam board. Foam board is so much easier for some people to get a hold of versus wood, because you need all the extra tools to be able to cut wood. Not everybody has access to be able to cut wood, and I recognize that. So that's why I do other things, not just wood. Because otherwise I would probably do this all in wood. But that's because that's me, and I have the tools to be able to do that. For his little wood, for his base, well, let's make it look like wood. So I just want to take, actually, I want to take, we're going to do light brown as the base. This is a light brown. This is honey brown. It's honey brown. And we are just going to go ahead and paint the entire thing with honey brown. And then we're going to go back over it with the darker brown with streaks. So it kind of looks like a wood look to it. You kind of understand more of what I'm saying when it comes together. Don't forget to do the sides, and we're going to do the back as well. So once your light brown is dry, we'll go with the darker brown, and this darker brown was the bark brown. And we're going to streaks. We're going to do streaks with our brown so that it kind of looks kind of like wood a little bit. Go. And it's just kind of blending it through. So, doesn't that look like wood? Kind of looks like wood, right? That's kind of great. I love that look. So, we are done with this. I don't want it to transfer here, so let's kind of move this off to the side. We're going to bring our little friend back, and we're going to glue him down so that he's on his little platform here, like so. Again, remember, I am going to leave more in the back than in the front because I do want all of this to be able to put some leaves behind him. So, Now he's glued on. I kind of want to give him little feet, right? Let's give him some little feet. Just a couple little, nothing big. I'm just going to take this and kind of just cut little. I don't know, I may not even like these, but they look like little mini mountain ranges here. Let's see if we can get that cut down a little bit. There we go. We're just gonna put little feet in there. But it's a little bit fatter than I want it to be. Okay, there we go. Now I also, while we're kind of finishing up with him, let's give him some wings. Let's give him some little wings. This is just dark brown soft felt. And I don't need very much at all. He just needs little bitty wings. In fact, this might actually be too much. You know, you just make little wings, like little dewdrops, pointy at one end, and then like a little raindrop. So, that. So that's just like a long raindrop for his little wings, like so. I think I actually want it a little bit longer than that. I messed that one up a little bit. Try to make them a little bit longer. There we go. I like that one better. So we'll take this one and we'll just make another one. They're not going to be perfect. Nothing is ever going to be super perfect. But we're going to place them down like so. And he's got his little wings. kind of make them to where they stand out from his body a little bit, so he's not flat. We've got a little bit of dimension going on. So they're sticking up a little bit here, you can see. So they're kind of, that is so cute. I absolutely love that. Absolutely in love with this look. So now, I'm going to go ahead, since I have him like this, we're going to take that dark brown again, and before I put the leaves around him, we're gonna paint around him just to kind of help hide the white portion of his tail. Let me do one here. And if you want to get really critical about this, we could actually just paint it the same color as the tail feather that's right next to it. If we wanted to do that, we could do that as well. I think the dark brown just kind of finishes it off a little bit. And I'm going to paint some of the back too. I mean, you probably won't see much of the back. Like I said, we're going to do feathers on it, or leaves. So you see a little bit of white, I think it'll be okay. It's just like covering the majority of the white, I think. Probably a good idea. Alright, see how much it kind of hides it a little bit. So, all of the brown, or all the white foam, is now brown. So makes him look so much better when you don't see that white. And I went ahead and I just painted the whole back too, even though you're probably not going to see much of this anyways, but I just wanted it to look more finished. So, we're going to take, real quick, I thought he needed a sign. How about give thanks, right? We're going to get a little, these are a little craft stick. Literally it's called a little craft stick. I got them at, I believe I got them at Michael's. You get them in a whole pack of like 100 or something. This is actually called a wood sign. And I believe you can get them in the wood pile section at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. I believe is where I got them. There was like it was a group of, I think it was a group of like 10 or something. But it's just a little wood piece, and that kind of looks a little rugged. You could actually just cut like a popsicle stick. You could use your extra foam, piece of cardboard, whatever you want to do. I'm going to go ahead, I want to stain mine. So we're going to take another baby wipe here, find my antique wax, because I do like the wood look, but I want it to be a little bit darker than this wood color. So we're just dipping in. Doesn't need a lot. I don't want it to be like super dark. Here we go. I should like that look a little bit better. We're going to do our stick too. Might as well have it all match color-wise. All right. We'll got this. We just want to write on it, give thanks. So this is just a paint marker or paint pen. Give thanks. There we go. Then we will put it on our stick like so. I don't want it to be too straight. I kind of messed up on the back, so when I was practicing. So it's okay, we can see the back. And when I put it on, I'm going to have it stick up a little bit because I kind of like the way that looks. And where you see the little signs and it's got the little sign piece kind of starts up here and then goes down on the stake. I kind of like how that looks. Alright, and then we just have to put them on our board with our turkey here. Just out of the way so I can see what I'm doing here. And because this is foam board down here, I'm going to just cut a slit into it because there's paper on top. I'm just going to cut a hole into it with my X-Acto knife. I'm going to twist a little hole in it because it's foam underneath the paper, right? So if you cut the paper back, you should be able to stick this in. A little bit more, a little bit bigger here. And it fits right in there. Perfect. Oh my gosh, that is absolutely perfect, right? We should probably put a dab of hot glue and stick it in there again. Just to make sure it doesn't want to come out. Like so. Alright, and then for the back, I've got this little bit of styrofoam here. We're just going to go ahead and cut it down to size so that we can stick some leaves. Like that. So that's just styrofoam block. You can get those at the Dollar Tree. You can get them pretty much anywhere. It's just styrofoam block that you can stick floral in. Using hot glue on this, it will melt. Just a heads up on that. Be prepared for that to melt on you. If you have a low temp glue gun, it might not melt as bad. But it's not bad. I mean, it will still do what it's supposed to do. There we go. Perfect. Now we got to decide what leaves I want to use. Since he's already kind of colorful, I was kind of thinking I've got these. They're like a brown, yellowy-ish, but they've got sparkles. I see the sparkles on them. They're from Walmart. I kind of like them just for the simple fact that they are more of a dull color leaf. And I kind of like that since he's kind of already got a bright tail. He doesn't really need that much more coloring around him. many more? Let's see. And one more pick. One more of the brown. He really doesn't need the leaves behind him, honestly. You know, now that I'm looking at it, I kind of don't like it. I don't like it. I thought I was going to be okay with it. I don't know, there's something about it. You know what? That's how you learn how things are going to look. We're just going to pull all this off. I like him like that. He looks fine just like that. But I do want to give him some Spanish moss to kind of cover him up a little bit. So, I mean, it's, do what you like, do what you think looks good. That's why I'm kind of just giving you hints and ideas and things that I do. And you guys just take it and run with it. And you may like the leaves. You may like the leaves behind him. That's totally your call. He will look great in a tier tray. He will look really good in a tier tray. Just putting some Spanish moss behind him. We're going to put some in front of him too. I think we put a little around his little sign. I think that would look really cute. Because who doesn't like a little bit of Spanish moss around a sign? A little bit, pinch more. He's kind of sitting in the Spanish moss a little bit. That I love. I love how that looks. He turned out great. I'm so excited. If you like what you see too, definitely keep coming back and follow along. Purple Penguin Craft Room. Happy crafting.